People think I wear hats to be festive. I just didn't want to do my hair. It seemed easier that way. And it's so noisy. You can't come in and not hear it. I'm going to start. I might have something Christmas related later, but I thought I would share with you 3 poems from this book of selections from interviews and journals and poetry. It's called In Depth, which, is what I look like. You don't have to play while I'm reading these, I guess, but thank you, John. So they might seem more somber, but some of the questions in interviews asked me and talked to me about a near-fatal car accident I was in. And it's funny, I was out last night, and somebody said, really? And I'm like, yeah, I was hit by 2 cars. I was unconscious for 11 days and had to relearn how to walk and talk and eat, and it stunk. It stunk. And although it's not always a fun thing to talk about, some of these things related to that. This first one is called The Things I Did to You. When you hear that you were so close to death, you don't think about it. You feel fine. You couldn't have been that bad. But you were on a respirator to breathe for you while the doctors just hoped and waited for you to start breathing again. And you couldn't eat. You were unconscious for 11 days, and they gave you food through a tube that went straight to your own stomach. There's even a piece of metal in your body for when the doctors put in there in case you had blood clots that tried to move through your arteries to get to your brain or heart or lungs. Granted, they're being kind and placing that vena cava filter in my body now means an MRI you might need in the future to help you will only kill you, because that vena cava filter will then be in your body vibrating and destroying your arteries. But they say they were doing everything only in your best interest. They surgically attached an intracranial pressure monitor to your head so they could measure if there was too much pressure on your brain. Yeah, I suppose it's fair to say that you almost died. But you're fine now. No one will tell you any of this, but I'm sure you know all of that by now. What does it feel like to be almost dead? If you had to think about it in your own life and what it would mean to you and to other generations, would any of this surgery matter? Well, you wouldn't be dead, I guess, but then what if you were no longer here on this planet? What if you were not alive? Would anyone miss you? Would anyone write poems about you or cry for you? Well, people might get used to the fact that you were gone. Time heals all wounds, as they say. If you were thinking about it after you were gone, you'd still be angry, I'm sure. It doesn't go away. It never does. Get used to it. This is a short one, and you can tell it's in a black box because of its darkness for the exit and stuff. This one is called, Isn't That What It's All About? My curse is that after this accident, I have the brains to know what happened to me, how bad it was, but that I survived it all and now have to suffer with it and to pick up all the pieces and function on my own. I think that people think that when you get out of the hospital, you must be fine, clean bill of health. They are so wrong. Now I feel like a soldier, and I don't even know what I'm protecting anymore. I want to give the enemy what he's been looking for. Here, it's a battle I am often just not willing to fight. Here, take my weapons. You've stripped me of most of them now, so let me hand you the rest freely. Let me have this. Let me do this. Let me give this compilation of everything and nothing. Isn't that what it's all about? And there was something, because it was based on a movie or something, and I wrote this that appeared in the show, and it is called Left with a Hole. You ever see TV shows or in a movie how some protagonist falls into a coma? I don't know from what, a gunshot, a car crash. Well, every time they wake up from their coma, and they're under from like 4 weeks to 4 years, they come out of it and they're mentally just fine. They talk in complete sentences, and they can remember what happened to them right up until their catastrophe. But let me be the voice of experience. In the real world, that's not the way it goes. You don't remember what happened right before the coma began. You wake up confused because your long-term memory never got a chance to save your short-term memories from that fateful day. When you wake up, you'll have to train yourself to walk and talk and eat again. You'll fall out of your hospital bed trying to escape. You want to kill the people who did this to you. You want to scream your stories to the world as they put you in restraints at night. You know, for your own protection. And you'll want to rip that food tube out of you, but you'll be afraid to actually put food into your mouth. Look, you have to remind yourself that you've done this before. It's not hard. Everyone does it. Put some food on a fork, put it in your mouth, remove fork, start chewing, and just swallow. I know it seems strange, but you can do this. You have to build your life again, piece by piece. I mean, you did this from scratch when you were a baby. I mean, being an adult now, you can retrain yourself. People will ask you if you remember what happened to you that fateful day, and they think that it's just like the movies where everyone just snaps out of their coma, good as new. But you don't know how to tell them that you'll never be as good as new, and nothing you can say will make them understand that even though you woke up, those people who did this to you, they took so much that you can't even remember the seconds before your life was forever changed for the worse. You're left with a hole. They even took your memories of the last seconds before your life from you. I happen to see in the book, I have a picture of myself in the coma with black eyes from the day. Except my sister's like, she'll probably want to see it. Jess had a little camera, and so I think when my mom saw, she was like, "Oh, she looks so nice with makeup on her eyes." And my sister's like, "That's not makeup. She's got 2 black eyes." Well, but my head was knocked around. Oh my gosh! And so it'll be happier next time. Thank you.